So for our ankle mobility series, specifically ankle dorsiflexion, we're going to be working on today. This is going to help people who have pinchy ankles or generally need to work on your ankle mobility. Or if you have tight calves, it helps to really get the joint and the bones moving of the foot, specifically the heel bone, the calcaneus. For this, it's generally helpful to have a small book, okay, or a small block. If you don't have one, it's fine. You can do it without it. It can just assist with feedback and things like that. So there's 3 parts to this, but before we actually go through the ankle mobility drills, it's good to just give yourself a little bit of a test on how well you can squat and just how a squat feels, okay? So just do a couple of those as a tester. We'll do that again at the end, and you can do one midway through. So the first portion, what we're going to do is step onto the book or block, and make sure the knuckles of your foot, okay, or the toes of the foot, sorry, are up until the knuckles, all right, or the forefoot are off, so they're hanging off the edge of the book. Again, if you don't have one, that's absolutely fine. From here, what we're going to do, come relatively close to the wall, maybe about a foot, foot and a half, and you're going to drive your knee towards the big toe, towards the second toe, and towards the pinky toe. Now, as you're doing this, you're trying to focus on keeping weight, as much weight as you can, on the heel, or just a good amount of weight. What you want to do is allow the heel to come up, all right, and the weight to shift forward in the foot. So as you drive the knee forward, what we're trying to get here is the knee to be able to flex, but we can still have load and a good firm stance in your heel. So we're just going to do that 1, 2 to the second toe and the baby toe. Second toe, big toe, second toe, baby toe. You can count 3 as 1, and you can do about 20 of these, or do as many as you feel like you need until you just start to feel, maybe you'll feel it in your calf. Right, loosen up your calf, you might feel it in your Achilles or in the front of the ankle. I've had ankle injuries, so I feel this sort of like slightly pinchy or restricted in the ankle joint. Okay, once you've done that, okay, that's just more of a mobility drill to get us going. We're going to move the book slightly further away from the wall, okay, because we're going to start to reach back and forward with the other foot. And now you're going to take all of your weight. So before, some of our weight was partially on that side. We weren't fully loading through the leg that's on the book, or the foot that's on the book. From here now, what we're going to do is stand on the book completely, stand on that leg, and you're going to initiate it with a knee bend. So you can see I'm staying quite upright, and as I bend the knee, I'm going to reach my foot forward, all right, and then I'm going to bend my knee and reach my foot back. Okay, what I'm focusing on here is, again, trying to keep my heel down. Okay, and you might notice that the knee might move in slightly different angles and different positions. You're orienting your pelvis over this foot, and your main job is to make sure that as you drive the knee forward, but for both, whether it's a forward reach or a backwards reach, that your heel stays firmly down. You want to even think of like you're like mashing some potato, right? So like some mashed potato underneath your heel, and you're mashing some potato every single time that you reach. Mash the potato, mash the potato, all right? And each 2, so 1, 2, that's 1 repetition, and you're going to go for 20 of these, all right? You might feel a little burn in your quads, maybe in your hips, and you're just going to go up and down and really rep it out, okay? Trying to make sure that you might notice if you don't have the book, that when you come forward, the weight might shift forward and you might clamp your toes and grab into the ground. That's one of the reasons why we want to be slightly elevated, all right? If you imagine we don't even have toes for this drill. Okay, after that, you can go for a little squat test. You might feel a little bit freer up in that ankle. Okay, if you don't worry, we're still getting a good amount of movement in the ankle joint and in the foot. The next one, the last one, we're going to come back onto this position. We're going to bend the knee as far forward as you can, up until you maybe feel a little block. And from here, we're going to slowly rotate and reach the opposite foot, the free leg, across and through. And we've got to make sure that we don't roll onto the outside of the foot. All right, we don't want to do that. And again, and then we're going to rotate open as well. And here as well, we want to make sure that we don't roll on the inside or roll on the outside. We keep what we call our tripod foot, so under the base of our toe, under the big toe, little toe, and in the base of the heel, stays firmly on the ground, especially the heel in this sense. So we bend the knee into our max dorsiflexion. We slowly rotate through. We can keep both hands on the wall, or you can, as you open up, just kind of come off with one hand, whatever's easier for you. But the key is keep that heel down, reach the leg through, keep the knee bent throughout, and just go through some slow rotations. Again, 2 will equal 1 here, so that's 1. That's 2. You might again feel this really working the muscles on top of the knee, your hip rotators. You might really feel this in your glute, all right, on the outside of your bottom on this one. And you can see I'm trying my best to keep my knee as close as I can to the wall, but without my heel coming off. So I really want to sink into my heel, keep my heel down. And you should also maybe notice, once you've done this a few times, that you're getting some nice movement going on in the calcaneus, in the heel bone, in the foot, okay, pronating and supinating, everting and inverting, and we're getting all this lovely nice movement in the foot. So 20 of these, 20 of the forward backwards reaches, and then to start it all off, as many as you want. You can do 10 lots of 3 or 20 lots of 3 of the knee mobility, the first one. So again, after that, just have a little squat test. See if you notice a difference. You might notice a difference the first set, but then there might be a big, you might feel like it's opened up a little bit. You might feel a little bit more alive around your knee and your hip. Anyway, so then repeat on the other side, and then you can begin your workout, or if it's just generally to loosen up your foot and ankle. All right, so give that a try and let me know how you get on.